Have you reached that point where you realize you can't really count on anyone anymore, not even your own family? It's a tough realization, especially as you get older and everything around you starts to shift. Bonds that once felt unbreakable begin to fade. Your kids get caught up in their own lives, jobs, commitments, distractions. Your siblings now face their own health challenges. Lifelong friends move away, grow weaker, or disappear entirely. And suddenly, you're sitting in silence wondering, who can I actually count on now? That question can hit you like a brick wall, unless you're ready for it. And here's the truth. You can be ready. You can build a life after 70 that doesn't depend on anyone else. A life that's strong, steady, and peaceful, even if others drift away. This isn't about bitterness. It's about wisdom. Because real support, the kind that's there in your darkest hour or on the loneliest afternoon, doesn't always come from blood relatives. It often comes from 5 overlooked pillars, quiet, powerful foundations that hold you up when everything else is shaking. And best of all, they don't fail. Pillar 1. Physical mobility. When you're 70 or older, being able to move on your own isn't just practical. It's a declaration of independence. It's dignity, it's freedom, and in many ways, it's the most essential kind of emotional support you can have. Getting out of bed on your own, making a warm breakfast, reaching that dish on the high shelf, opening your front door to feel the morning air. That's power. When you can trust your body, you stop worrying about being a burden. Now, let's be real. Staying mobile after 70 doesn't mean running marathons. It means taking care of your joints, maintaining balance, and having just enough strength to rely on your own 2 legs. And that kind of strength is built with simple habits. A few morning stretches, a 15-minute walk, or light resistance band exercises can transform your entire day. And here's the inspiring part. It's never too late to start. Every movement you make is a clear message to your body. I still want to keep going. People think losing mobility is just part of aging, but it's not. The more you move, the more your body fights to keep that ability. Your age doesn't dictate your future. Your actions do. And emotionally, staying active helps fight one of the quietest fears many seniors face, the fear of becoming useless. When your body starts to depend on constant help, your mind begins to shrink too. You start doubting yourself. You cancel plans, avoid travel, turn down invitations, not because you don't want to go, but because you're afraid you can't handle it. That's not aging. That's shrinking. And you don't have to accept it. Let me tell you about Harold, a 78-year-old man I met one morning in a Florida park. He walks with a cane, making loops around the trail, rain or shine. One day I asked him why he stuck to his routine so faithfully. He looked at me with calm resolve and said, "The day I stop walking is the day I start waiting for someone else to do it for me. And I don't want to wait. I want to live." His walk isn't perfect, but it's his. He still drives to the store. He still visits friends on Sundays. He still climbs 3 steps onto his porch, not because someone built a ramp, but because he chose not to stop. When you invest in your body, even just a little, it gives you something priceless in return. Freedom. The kind of freedom most people don't appreciate, until it's gone. Your family might not always be around to take you to appointments or help you up after a fall. But if your legs are strong, your core is steady, and your balance is solid, you can delay that dependence. You can hold on to your autonomy much longer than people expect. And that kind of strength doesn't just support your body, it lifts your spirit. So, if you're feeling stiff or weak lately, don't blame yourself. It's okay to feel that. What matters is that you start from where you are. Move a little more today than you did yesterday. Stretch while your coffee brews. Take 1 extra lap around the hallway, because every small effort builds something big, a steady foundation you can rely on. Pillar 2. Financial simplicity. Once you hit your 70s or beyond, peace of mind doesn't come from how much money is in the bank. It comes from knowing exactly what you need, what you can manage, and how to live within your means without fear or shame. Financial simplicity is one of the most solid forms of support you can create, and it's completely within your control. When money becomes complicated, it turns into an emotional weight. Juggling multiple accounts, remembering subscriptions, managing stacks of credit cards, it's exhausting. It erodes your sense of safety. And in older age, stability isn't a luxury, it's survival. Even if your family loves you deeply, they can't clean up financial clutter. But a clear, simple plan that can hold you steady during the most uncertain times, like a walking stick for the soul. Here's the secret most people miss. Simplifying your finances doesn't mean giving up. It means taking back control. It means embracing a modest lifestyle that fits you, not other people's expectations. It's the freedom to buy what you need without questioning every penny. It's like tidying up a messy closet. Once everything is in place, your mind can finally rest. Psychologically, simplifying your finances removes one of the biggest sources of anxiety for seniors: uncertainty. So many older adults go to bed wondering if they'll outlive their savings or how they'll pay for help if they need it. Those questions rob you of sleep more than physical pain ever could. But when you know where your money's going, when your spending is intentional, and your needs are met without stretching too far, you feel steady. You walk taller, you breathe easier. Let me tell you about Lorraine, a 74-year-old former librarian who lives near me. After losing her husband, she sat down with a financial advisor and took charge. She moved into a smaller house, cut down her bills, kept only one credit card, and canceled all the subscriptions she no longer used. One day she smiled and said, "I used to be afraid to check the mail. Now I open every envelope with a clear head and a calm heart." She even started a little savings jar she calls her Freedom Fund, where she puts in $10 now and then. It's not about the amount, it's about the message. She's in control. Pillar 3. A steady health routine. By the time you reach your 70s, your greatest support system isn't your children. It's not your neighbors. It's not even your doctor. It's what you do for yourself every single day. And I'm not talking about trendy diets or expensive supplements. I'm talking about the little things, the consistent actions that over time build a healthy rhythm in your body and mind. Because when your body feels grounded, your spirit gets stronger too. Too many people wait until something breaks to start caring for their health. But that's like trying to fix a leak during a storm. You end up stuck in emergency mode, always reacting. Instead, when you have a steady routine, walking in the morning, drinking enough water, stretching your legs, taking your medications on time, choosing nourishing foods, you're sending a clear message to yourself. I respect myself. I care. There's quiet power in that, especially later in life. Psychologically, routines reduce anxiety because they remove decision fatigue. You don't have to ask yourself, should I do this today? You just do it. That predictability builds confidence, and that confidence, it frees you from the fear of becoming a burden. It lets you say, I'm still capable. I'm still moving forward. I still take care of me. Let me introduce you to Frank, a retired electrician, 81 years old. Every morning, without fail, he brews a cup of green tea, stretches for 15 minutes in his chair, takes his meds, and goes for a 30-minute walk, rain or shine. Once he told me, I don't do this for exercise. I do it to remind myself that I still matter. That hit me hard. Because Frank's routine isn't about staying in shape. It's about identity. It's about staying connected to the part of himself that refuses to give up, no matter how many birthdays have passed. And here's something most people don't realize. Having a routine means you actually need less help, not more. You're less likely to forget your pills, less likely to fall, less likely to feel lost during the day. It's like carving a path through a foggy forest. Even when everything around you feels unclear, your feet know exactly where to go, because they've walked that path over and over. That's real support, and the best part, it doesn't rely on anyone else but you. Of course, some days will be harder than others. Your joints might ache, your energy might dip, or bad weather might keep you indoors. That's okay. Your routine can adapt. What matters isn't perfection, it's consistency. What makes the difference isn't doing everything, it's not giving up. A short walk around the living room, a deep breath by the window, a full glass of water before bed. These aren't grand gestures, but together they form an invisible net that supports you, wraps around you, and quietly pushes you forward. So, if you've lost your routine lately or feel stuck, start small. One habit, one action. Because every time you show up for yourself, you're proving something powerful. You are your own caregiver, and that kind of support, no one can take that away from you. Pillar 4, emotional resilience. There's one kind of support that becomes more valuable with age than almost anything else. Not money, not even physical health. Emotional resilience. Because when your inner world is strong, you can handle almost any storm. Grief, disappointment, loneliness, even wounds from the people closest to you. When your emotions are anchored, those waves don't drown you. People often think emotional strength means not feeling sadness. That's a myth. True resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about feeling it without letting it consume you. It's letting sadness pass through you without letting it take root. That kind of strength doesn't come from pretending everything's okay. It comes from telling yourself honestly, this hurts, but I can handle it. And every time you do that, every time you sit with your pain instead of running from it, you become less afraid of what tomorrow might bring. That's power. That's freedom. You're not handing your suffering to someone else to carry. You're learning to hold it yourself without breaking. Let me tell you about Eileen, 77 years old. She lost her husband 5 years ago and has lived alone ever since. I once asked her how she gets through the hard days. She said, "Every night I light a candle. Not for religion, but to remind myself that I'm still here. Some nights I cry, others I laugh. But I always say, you made it through this day." That little ritual? It's her way of honoring her grief without letting it swallow her whole. Emotional resilience isn't just about surviving big losses. It's also about those smaller disappointments that quietly pile up. When your child doesn't call, when a friend moves away, when you realize you can't do the things you used to. If you fall apart at every shift, life becomes too painful to enjoy. But when you develop emotional strength, you gain immense freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of others' choices or life's unpredictability. You're steady, because you choose how to respond. From a psychological perspective, emotional resilience even changes your brain. It slows down your thoughts, calms your nervous system, builds confidence in your ability to face the unknown. And it reminds you of something incredibly powerful. You've survived every hard thing so far. That wasn't luck. That was strength. Yes, family might drift. Health may falter. But if your emotional core is solid, you'll still be standing. With clear eyes, a steady heart, and the quiet certainty that you are enough. Pillar 5. Personal values. There's something quietly powerful about having your own set of values, especially after 70. Because when everything around you changes, when your family grows distant, your health shifts, your world gets quieter, your values can anchor you. A solid personal code gives you stability. It's the voice inside that says, this is who I am and how I choose to live, whether anyone's watching or not. Your values don't have to be flashy or impressive. They can be simple. Honesty, kindness, responsibility, humility, self-respect. These aren't things you live for applause. You live them for yourself. And that's the whole point. When you live by your own principles, you stop needing approval. You stop chasing validation. You stop crumbling when others don't agree with you. Because you know what you stand for, and that's enough to keep you grounded. From a psychological lens, having clear personal values helps reduce regret. It makes decisions easier. You don't lie awake wondering, did I do the right thing? Because your inner compass already gave you the answer. It also builds a powerful kind of inner calm. When life throws something unexpected, and it will, you don't panic. You pause and ask, what do my values tell me about this? and that quiet reflection becomes your guide. The beautiful thing is, you don't have to shout your values. You just live them. And that's what gives them strength. Maybe your value is waking up early to greet the sun, or refusing to speak badly about others. Maybe it's being generous, even when you have little, or staying curious about the world, even as it changes faster than you'd like. Whatever speaks to your soul, embrace it. Let it walk beside you. Because if you can look in the mirror at 75, 80, or 85 and say, "I lived by what I believed in," then that's real success. That's self-respect. And no one, no child, no doctor, no part of society can take that from you. Final thoughts. Becoming your own foundation. Let's take a breath. Because everything we've talked about, mobility, finances, health routines, emotional resilience, and personal values, they all point to one powerful idea. You can become your own foundation. You don't have to wait for others to hold you up. When you build your strength from within, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you never feel truly alone. That kind of inner power doesn't just comfort you, it frees you. So here's a gentle invitation. Take a moment, maybe after this video ends, and ask yourself, which of these supports do I already have in my life? Which one would I like to start building today? You don't need to do it all at once. You just need to begin. And each small step is a powerful act of self-love, self-leadership, and self-respect. If this message has spoken to you, if it's made something inside you shift, then let us know in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Tap the bell icon so you don't miss what's next. Because this channel isn't just about sharing information. It's about reminding you that your life, right now, is still full of power, wisdom, and beauty. And you don't have to wait for anyone to give you permission to claim it. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself today, and we'll see you in the next one.